must find a strong reason on how we can improve this speech. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very good speech because the speaker uses a personal story. A lot of us in this room have seen the speaker for the first time, but we've never met him. By sharing his personal story about his family, his struggle with his father trying to quit smoking for the better health of his daughter, we become closer to him. We realize he's not just a powerful speaker on a stage, but in fact, he's actually human, just like the rest of us. So when you want to make a better connection with the audience, try to share a personal story, such as your family, such as a struggle, such as something that can help us relate to you on this stage. Now, as good as this speech is, of course, there is always room for improvement. The first way we can improve this speech is by showing a stronger struggle. I tried to quit smoking. I saw a picture on my computer, and I quit after 1 year. Too fast. The struggle is the meat of the speech. It is what helps us to learn and inspires us to do better in our lives. My father looked at my daughter, and I quit smoking in 1 year. Too fast again. How can we improve this? Show us more details, more examples about how the actual struggle affected you. Every time I would go out in public, I would see all my friends smoking cigarettes, but I would get so shaky because I wanted to smoke every single day, but I knew I couldn't. I could not smoke cigarettes because I had to quit. When his father is playing with his young daughter, we all know that cigarettes do harm to our health. My father would try to play with my daughter, chasing her all around the room, but he would begin coughing because it was too difficult for him, because he smoked every day. And that's when he began to realize he needed to quit smoking for our daughter. So ladies and gentlemen, when you explain the struggle, when you flesh it out, when you give a lot of details, that is what inspires us to make a change within ourselves. Now, the last thing we need to do to improve the speech, to make an excellent one even more better, is to give examples of our key message. Ladies and gentlemen, you must always find a strong reason. Why should you improve your health? Because you want to live for your daughter's graduation. Why should you make more money? Because you want to buy your wife beautiful things. Why should you do something better? This way, by giving us all examples that can apply to us, all of us can buy into what you have to say. All of us in the audience may not have a father that smokes, but we do want to get better in some way. So give us examples of your key message. Ladies and gentlemen, to make our speech better, remember to use a personal story. Remember to show us the struggle, and remember to give us examples of your key message. Thank you very much.
Contestant number 6, Jonathan Pen.
A new driver will now evaluate an old driver. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an excellent speech because the speaker knows his audience. He immediately begins by pulling out a Chinese driver's license and showing us a sign of his new driver sign. Imagine if I were to do the same speech, but I pulled out an American driver's license. And then I told you a story about how we were going to travel to a bunch of different cities across the United States. Well, I guarantee you, 99% of the audience would not care. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you must not only know your audience, you must also speak their language. It's important to use examples and content that your audience can understand. Now, of course, every speech can be better. The first thing we need to do to improve this amazing speech is to define the purpose. To define the purpose and also align the content with that purpose. When I hear the word old driver, I think of a very, very experienced man. However, I was confused because when the story began, it talked about getting a driver's license, and then being a new driver, and then driving to 20 different cities. And it wasn't until the very end of the speech that I realized this is a speech about the quality of your experiences, not the quantity. You see, ladies and gentlemen, if you define your purpose clearly, you can then make sure that all of your content will follow that. Instead of spending so much time talking about making a WeChat group or sitting next to a beautiful girl or driving to 20 different cities and repeating the names of those cities again, why not spend more time using a title that talks about the quality of our experiences versus the quantity? Why not use more of that content to talk about the first time you wanted to try basketball, but you hadn't played in 20 years, but it turns out it was the best basketball game of his life? Quality of experiences versus quantity. Now, once we define the purpose and we align our content, then you have to show the struggle. Because the struggle is what inspires people. But the only struggle in this speech was, my legs hurt, what do I do? Ladies and gentlemen, if the purpose of this speech is the quality of experiences versus quantity, why not tell us how he tried to stay and drive with everyone else, but he was so tired and exhausted that he had to stop on the side of the road and he cried. But then he realized this was the best trip he'd ever taken in his entire life. Ladies and gentlemen, know your audience and speak their language. Deliver examples and content they will understand so they will buy it even better. Define your purpose. Define the purpose of your speech and make sure all of your content is aligned with that. And last, show us the struggle because that is what inspires people. Thank you.